A gentleman's time has expired and yields back. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from New York's 20th District for 5 minutes for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First, I associate myself with the comments highlighting the importance of a strong, independent nuclear safety regulator. This is not only critical for the health and safety of our constituents, but indeed for the nuclear industry as well. The public support and social license to operate needed for a new nuclear renaissance can end with just a single incident. If the nuclear industry and congressional Republicans are serious about bringing this vision to fruition, then we do need to come together to support a fully independent NRC. It sounds like there's some consensus from the witnesses that standardization of project design reduces costs and that there needs to be continued federal support to reach nth-of-a-kind projects. Most of the countries that have continued to build reactors steadily since the 1970s have done so by using a settled reactor design. But at the moment in the United States, there are a lot of different technologies being pursued, many of which are receiving federal research and demonstration funding. So I'd like to ask our witnesses to imagine that we achieve President Trump's goal of growing from 100 gigawatts of U.S. nuclear capacity today to that 400 level of gigawatts by 2050. Right now, there are numerous companies working to deploy new reactor designs. So to the witnesses, in this future, how many companies do we believe will ultimately be successful in commercializing their product? And will there be a single large-scale reactor design and a single SMR design, or will there, in your opinion, be many competing options? Anyone that would like to respond to that, please?
I'm happy to start.
Thank you.
Congressman. I would say, just like any technology, and if I imagine that we weren't talking about nuclear, when there's so much innovation going on, you're going to see several different companies. That's what we're seeing now in nuclear. But I think ultimately you're going to see some of these, I'll also say, combine and collect. So you're going to see some narrowing in the industry. But I don't, however, think that you're going to get to only one SMR design or only one, let's say, micro-reactor design. And the reason is that different technologies that you've been here talking about here on this panel is that they offer different attributes, right? So some designs offer very high temperature steam, and that might be something you're interested in. Some designs might not offer as much high temperature steam, but they might offer you more efficient electricity. So it depends really on what you're trying to use. For nuclear, you could get the steam, you could get the electricity, you can use some of that to create hydrogen, and there is going to be a lot of different opportunities in the marketplace. And so I think you're going to see that the designs are looked at not only for how quickly can you build them and how efficiently can they operate, but what product are they producing that you as a company are looking for.
Okay, so within that vein, when it comes to the federal government's strategy to achieve this vision, if we're going to deploy a lot of new reactors in the next 2 decades, should the government bet on more companies by spreading our limited federal assistance broadly, or provide greater assistance to a fewer number of the most promising technologies? Anyone? Ms. Greenberg?
Yeah, so we actually like the diversity of programs that the Department of Energy has now, including the addition of the couple of programs that just happened this year. So we have a range of programs. We have an advanced reactor demonstration program that is demonstrating 2 non-light water reactors that are SMRs. There's now also a Gen 3 Plus program that's demonstrating a couple of designs of light water SMRs. There's this pilot program, which is a lot of shots on goal with for very small size reactors. And there's also there's a bunch of fuels programs. There's the loan program. We have this, in my view, correct diversity of programs where we can't bet on everything, but we can make a number of bets. And then, as Maria was saying, there's going to ultimately have to be a down select. Not everyone is going to make it, and that's actually okay. That has happened in the past with other types of technologies outside the nuclear sector as well as in the nuclear sector. I think what's one of our key strengths as a country is this sort of entrepreneurial spirit that allows a lot of these different types of companies to try things. Not all of them are going to win, but having that entrepreneurial energy that we're getting right now and having all these different companies trying things is good, but ultimately we can't all of those designs won't all work out. So we're going to have to get to standardized, but in our country, as opposed to some other places where it's more state-controlled, there's going to be this interaction between the government decisions, what they are interested in providing incentives for, what the regulator approves, as well as the market. Because as Maria said, there's a lot of different use cases for these different technologies, so probably in each use case, there might be more than one technology, but there probably won't be so many designs or so many successes.
Okay, I appreciate that, and I see I'm down to the 0 moment, so thank you, Mr. Chair, and I yield back.